How many grafts do you need for your hair transplant? If you are looking at a hair transplant, you may have that specific question, but in this video, we're going to talk about why that question is actually the wrong question and what you should do instead. My name is Jess. I've been dealing with hair loss for over 9 years. I've spent years in hair loss communities, and I've also helped over 300 men to overcome the hair loss as well. And I've been able to make a pretty cool comeback myself. And so the main question when we are talking about hair transplant is how many grafts do you need and why this is actually the wrong question. The short answer is that the ultimate answer is very specific to you. And so when you are talking to clinics or you are looking online, you may look at estimates and see like, oh, I need 2,500 grafts for my hairline, 3,000 for my crown, around 2,500 for the rest, or maybe you just want to do slight temple work, which will require around 1,000 and maybe a little more. But that is the problem because these type of answers aren't really specific. And so it's very easy when you are looking at a hair transplant to ask around how many you need, because your price may also depend on it and your result will also depend on it. And so it's very easy question to ask, but the answer is actually very difficult. So for example, if you take two of the exact same people, but one person has very thin hair and the other has very thick hair, then the person with very thick hair either needs less grafts to get a great result, or will just have simply a better result with the same number of grafts. And that is just one characteristic. There's also, like, for example, how curly your hair is, what color your skin is, what color your hair is, the type of hair, so at least the pattern in which it progresses can vary differently. And so all these factors that are coming together create the entire picture. And so when you post in the hair transplant subreddit, for example, like how many grafts do I actually need, the answer is very difficult. The type of answer that you will actually get are most often from people who do this in their free time. And it's very likely that if you're posting it, I'm looking at the thread as well, I may have commented on it as well, but I do this in my free time because I like to do it. And so when you are dealing with people that you don't know, that might do it for free or might not do it that very often, it's difficult to trust their specific response and their comment. Like, did they join the community like a week ago, and are they just looking at other hair transplant articles that say like, oh yeah, for this specific case you need 2,500 grafts? Then it's very easy for someone to say 2,500, but you don't know the context to how they came to that conclusion. Or maybe you're talking to an industry professional, something like that, or somebody in between. But the thing is, when you are dealing with anonymous replies, and it's very difficult to actually get an accurate assessment. And so the next step is where people are like, oh yeah, these days you can use AI for that. And by the way, if you want to count grafts after a hair transplant, I highly recommend that you put it into ChatGPT, because ChatGPT can just analyze it, basically count the number of dots, and then give you an estimation of how many grafts. But before that is actually done, it's so difficult to actually get a good estimation, because at the end of the day, it's still an estimation and it's based on whatever picture you send it. So if you send a picture in really soft lighting, it may not recommend that many grafts. But if you send the exact same photo, but in very harsh conditions, like very harsh lighting conditions, or maybe even you have wet hair, which makes it even worse, then it may recommend many more grafts than that. Because again, it can only look at the surface area. It cannot look deep beneath it. And so what is the actual answer to this question? Honestly, I would just recommend to talk to a couple local clinics first to really see how many grafts you need for your hair transplant. And their estimation may vary a bit, but ultimately they will be likely heading in the right direction. What you need, again, is based on so many factors, and we need to take those factors into account. And these are the exact people that deal with this every day. So I would only do it with hair transplant clinics. You don't want to do it with dermatologists, trichologists, with general practitioners, people like that, because they aren't specifically trained in that specific regard. They are trained for way different things than actual hair transplant graft counts. So if you want to know how many grafts you actually need, I would just recommend go visit a couple hair transplant clinics locally to you and get an estimation. You don't need to buy it immediately, but just get an estimation, because that's pretty much the only way that you're gonna get a realistic estimation. And honestly, no one talks about it, and so I wanted to make this video for you. And if you want any help with choosing the right hair transplant clinic that fits your situation the first time, check the link in the description below, book a call. We can talk about if working together is a great option for you. And if you have any other questions relating to hair transplants, put them in the comments below, and I will see if I can make a video about that, because in the month of June I'm making a video about hair transplants every single day. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.